My boyfriend just won Best Actor, and his ex-girlfriend showed up. She held a pregnancy report in one hand and rubbed her belly with the other, claiming the child is my boyfriend's. I was really into the moment when she turned and yelled at me, calling me the other woman. I pouted in grievance. It's such a huge injustice. Oliver is the sly one. To celebrate my boyfriend winning Best Actor, I rarely felt like having hot pot at home. Just as the broth started to boil, I heard someone knock on the door. I hadn't even looked at Oliver when he got up to open the door voluntarily. Oliver, this child is yours. A girl's soft voice came from outside the door. This news was too sudden. I perked up my ears to listen closely. Oh, what does it have to do with me? I secretly hid behind Oliver. He gently cracked the door open, blocking it so the girl outside didn't notice me. Seeing him respond so coldly, I unhappily pinched him, signaling with my eyes not to be so fierce. If the girl gets scared and stops talking, what will I do if I can't hear what happens next? The girl outside was still talking. Oliver, look, this is the pregnancy test report. The child is 6 months along. It's just like the last time you got drunk. I'm not here to ask for your forgiveness today. I just don't want the child to be born without knowing their father. Oliver's attention has been completely off her. Seeing me getting more and more excited behind the door, he helplessly reached out and grabbed my flopping big ears, giving them a good rub. The rabbit's ears are particularly sensitive, and I immediately felt my legs go weak, sitting down on the ground with quite a commotion. Only then did Samantha outside the door notice me. She realized that Oliver's gaze had been fixed on me, not even glancing at the pregnancy checkup form in her hand. Fire suddenly lit up in her eyes. Her stare seemed like it could burn through me. You shameless person. I was wondering why Oliver suddenly ignored me and doesn't even acknowledge the child. Turns out he's enchanted by you. You're truly despicable. Samantha seemed to have seized on something, growing more and more animated as she spoke. I heard that human girls are physically weaker during pregnancy, so I didn't argue with her, fearing it would be bad for the fetus. My mother told me that the Fox Spirit clan has handsome men and beautiful women, and she said I was a fox spirit. Isn't that just a compliment on my looks? Why are you suddenly so agitated? I don't understand, but I stayed silent. I just pouted and mumbled under my breath. Clearly, Oliver looks more like a fox. I'm just a rabbit. Oliver was angrier than I expected and immediately called security to have that girl thrown out. I don't want any strangers showing up at my doorstep again. Faced with Oliver's cold gaze, the security guard quietly wiped the sweat from his forehead and quickly signaled for Samantha to leave. The fact that Samantha waited until the child was 6 months old to come knocking shows she's not foolish. Although she was reluctant, she didn't just stand there. Before leaving, she shot me a fierce glare as if she wanted to devour me alive. I couldn't help but shiver. The old saying holds true, watching the fun comes with risks. Behind me, Oliver's fox tail quietly reached out toward me. By the time I noticed, his tail had already wrapped around my waist and pulled me into his arms. I immediately understood, blushing and closing my eyes waiting for him to kiss me, but I missed the mischievous smile on his face. He's tugging at my tail. I jumped out of Oliver's arms all of a sudden. Even a rabbit will bite when it's angry. He said he would deal with me, blaming me for meddling in everything. I wasn't willing to back down and insisted on getting to the bottom of it. I couldn't care less about those meaningless gossip. In the end, the Oliver who initially wanted to teach me a lesson ended up letting me touch his abs. I thought it would just be a minor inconvenience when my ex came to me with news of a pregnancy. But I didn't expect things to escalate. It ended up trending on social media. In the video, Samantha was crying sadly, her voice trembling. She looked both wronged and stubborn, like a girl who felt betrayed but refused to give in. It's not that I need a label, I just want to know why. If you don't love me, why are you still with me? Now that the child is 6 months old, even if not for myself, I need to seek an explanation for the child's sake. Oliver had just won the Best Actor award not long ago. His image had always been very positive, with no negative news before this. As soon as this video came out, it immediately trended on social media. The comments section was in an uproar. Is she talking about the recently popular Best Actor Oliver? The entertainment industry is so complicated. Wait, doesn't Oliver have a girlfriend he's very close to? I heard that woman is already 6 months pregnant. Can his girlfriend accept this? As Oliver's girlfriend, I quietly replied to this comment after seeing it. I think I can endure it for now, just observing online and waiting for the situation to turn around. Someone recognized my account, and everyone immediately came to reply to me. Guajia, you came really early today. Guajia, Guajia. Is there some insider information this time? What does it feel like to accidentally become a gossip blogger because you love to eat melons too much? There are no secrets, only things that everyone knows. I replied honestly. After everyone read it, they all said I was right, and the comments gradually had other speculations. Some said Oliver has become too popular lately and has upset someone's interests. This trending topic is intentionally targeting him. They believe someone wants to bring Oliver down. I saw that netizens clearly misunderstood my meaning, and I was a bit confused. What are they saying about cake and some conspiracy? How should I explain this? The common sense I mentioned is just the literal meaning. The gestation period for foxes is only 2 months, and this woman has been pregnant for 6 months. She could have had 3 babies by now, and since she hasn't, it definitely isn't Oliver's child. Oliver stood in front of me at some point, and it seemed he had already seen the trending news. He sat down and started to massage my shoulders, leaning in close to whisper that the child was his. I widened my eyes in surprise. My eyes turned back to their original deep red color due to the shock. I blinked and looked at Oliver, listening to him slowly explain. It turned out that the child really was Oliver's, but not the current Oliver, it was the one who had already passed away. At that time, Oliver wasn't even called Oliver, he was just a little gray fox that hadn't transformed into human form. In a fox group that revered the white fox, this little gray fox seemed particularly inconspicuous. Having fur that isn't white enough means poor quality, and poor quality means no one likes you, so he didn't even have a proper name, everyone just called him Little Gray. Everyone picks on you, you really bring shame to our fox den, looking all gray and muddy, you're the most special one in the whole den. Exactly, other fox dens have already transformed, but you're dragging us down, making us the subject of jokes. Little Gray gets beaten up every day, always carrying wounds, and with poor talent, now even catching prey is a struggle. At that time, I thought to myself, I must be the most miserable fox spirit, even my way of dying would be from starvation. Oliver said this and gave a self-deprecating smile. Seeing him like this, my heart ached, and I was too sad to speak. I pulled him into my arms, his cheek pressed tightly against my shoulder, and I could feel his warm breath brushing against my skin. Oliver, I really wish I could have met you earlier. You must have been very lonely and lost back then. I exposed my ear and placed it in Oliver's palm. Feel it, my Oliver is the best and most special Oliver in the world. I said with a smile, how beautiful his gray fur is, while others are just ordinary white, only our Oliver's gray is unique. Oliver didn't say a word, just held me tighter, like a child afraid of losing something. After a long time, I finally heard him continue in a hoarse voice. Later, Little Gray was severely injured again and fainted by the roadside. Fortunately, Oliver happened to pass by and saved him. They had relied on each other for a long time. Then one day, Oliver, unable to cope, ended his life in the small cabin where they lived together. Looking back now, I remember he often traveled far into the mountains just to talk to me, an ordinary fox, and we would chat for a whole day. He must have been feeling bad at that time as well. Little Gray couldn't express what he felt when he saw Oliver's body. He only remembered Oliver's words about wanting to be an award-winning actor, wanting to live authentically, and admitting he was actually a coward. But Little Gray didn't see Oliver as weak, he only remembered his dreams. So, Little Gray, who could transform into a human form, fulfilled Oliver's wishes. Oliver never replied to the video Samantha sent. In recent days, discussions have become increasingly heated. Of course, I have been keeping an eye on the latest developments in this matter. Currently, there are 3 main viewpoints in the comments section. The first is by onlookers like me, the second is the die-hard fans who firmly support Oliver, and the third is the extreme netizens who stir up trouble. I had previously asked Oliver how he planned to handle the issue with Samantha. Even if she isn't a great person, the child she is carrying is, after all, the biological child of a benefactor. Unfortunately, Oliver didn't answer me directly, he just gently rubbed my ear and smiled at me. The moment Samantha was mentioned, Oliver's expression immediately turned cold. Be obedient, ignore her. I initially thought about giving Samantha some money to take good care of her pregnancy, considering she was the mother of my benefactor's child. Who would have thought she would be so greedy? Seeing that Oliver is doing well now, she wants more than just money. She's so clever, knowing that money will eventually run out. But if she can get Oliver, the money will keep coming in the future. So what if she doesn't love him? She doesn't care about Oliver's love at all. As long as she can tie him down with the child, that's enough. so she proudly came to show off in front of me. What's the use of being good-looking? With this child, Oliver won't leave me. Over time, who knows what will happen between you two? You don't really understand Oliver, do you? He becomes indecisive when it comes to emotions. If he can't take it, it's better to back out early. After all, you wouldn't feel comfortable either, right? Samantha sat across from me, constantly rubbing her protruding belly and nagging on, making my head spin. I only clearly heard her start by complimenting my looks. Although I didn't really like her, out of politeness, I smiled at her and said thank you. Seeing her look so uncomfortable, I was both puzzled and confused. In the end, she rolled her eyes at me and said, "If you're sick, just go away." I was even more baffled. Did she come over just to say I looked good, only to insult me again? Before bed, I casually mentioned this to Oliver. He gently stroked the rabbit, and I quickly fell asleep. I completely didn't notice his gaze had turned serious. If I had seen it, I would have definitely guessed someone was going to be in trouble. My Oliver is no longer the easily bullied little gray fox he used to be. Ever since Samantha's video went viral, to maintain her attention, she specifically opened a private Weibo account to document her pregnancy days. Today, I went for a prenatal checkup alone, and the doctor reminded me to bring my husband next time, saying the child's father should participate more. But I know that's not realistic. Just when I was feeling sad, the baby in my belly suddenly moved, as if to tell me not to be sad, because it is here with me. In the picture, Samantha is pressing her hand against her belly, with a hospital in the background. The comments section is filled with messages comforting her. Samantha, seeing her popularity rising, couldn't hide the smug look on her face. She looked at the girls on the screen who sympathized with her and comforted her, wearing a mocking smile. These girls are too easily swayed by what others say. Unfortunately, she didn't get to enjoy her happiness for long before Oliver's official account released a statement. The first point clearly stated that this child is not mine. Secondly, my partner is sleeping next to me. Thirdly, whoever doubts should provide evidence. If you insist that I did this and the child is mine, then please provide evidence. Otherwise, it's defamation and slander, and it will be dealt with legally. A prominent fan summarized under this Weibo post, reminding everyone to learn from Oliver's approach. In daily life, don't always think about proving yourself. Remember this: whoever doubts should provide evidence. If someone accuses you of stealing, don't rush to explain that you didn't steal. Just ask them, "You say I stole. Where's the evidence?" The situation is different now. More and more people are starting to doubt Samantha, feeling that she hardly speaks the truth. Unfortunately, I'm disappointed that as the ex-girlfriend of the benefactor, Samantha doesn't even have a single photo with him. There's no evidence they ever dated. I can't help but wonder, did they really ever date? Oliver has never been a hesitant person. I can sense that he's keenly aware of the fact that Oliver has been through a lot of hardships in the past. If he had acted like he used to, Samantha wouldn't be so arrogant now. Oliver, just do what you want, investigate freely. I'm always on your side. I may not be smart, but I will always believe in and support him. That's the only thing I can do well. My mother told me that one shouldn't live too clearly. Being a bit muddled can actually bring more happiness. Oliver is just too clear-headed. He tends to overthink things. I've always been aware that the benefactor's passing is a wound in Oliver's heart that still hurts when he thinks of it. The little gray fox has always valued loyalty the most. Samantha couldn't find any evidence to prove the child is Oliver's, and soon many people began to question it. But I still underestimated Samantha's audacity. She actually contacted Oliver's biological parents. To be honest, this surprised both me and Oliver, because when we first saw Oliver's household registration book, it only listed him, and we thought he had been an orphan since childhood. We hadn't specifically looked into this matter until a video appeared on Samantha's personal Weibo showing Oliver's biological father. The man in the video looked exactly like Oliver, as if they were carved from the same mold. So when he said in the video that he was Oliver's father, no one doubted the authenticity of his words. I am Oliver's biological father. The child in Samantha's belly is indeed Oliver's. After the child is born, I will take Samantha for a paternity test. Samantha has had a tough life. It's all because of that irresponsible child, Oliver. When Oliver's father said this, he clearly became emotional, his face filled with disappointment towards Oliver. He doesn't even care about his own parents. Forget it, it's all my fault for not raising the child properly. I have been keeping an eye on trending news online, so as soon as this video came out, I immediately told Oliver. Oliver also saw the video, his gaze fixed on his father in the footage, his expression dark and gloomy. Oliver clearly felt his father's hostility, a shadow that had haunted him since childhood. I walked over and gently patted Oliver's shoulder. He turned to look at me. I removed my hand from his shoulder and placed it in his hand, holding it tightly together. I wanted to say that the little gray fox belongs to the big white rabbit, and the big white rabbit will take good care of the little gray fox. Actually, before the video was released, Oliver's father approached me privately. He directly told me that it was Oliver's competitor who was behind pushing the issue with Samantha. Now they have offered Oliver's father $1 million, hoping he would help prove that Oliver is irresponsible. But Oliver's opponent didn't expect his father to be so greedy. He directly approached and said that as long as Oliver gives him $3 million more, he would keep his distance and not get involved. Greed gleamed in Oliver's father's eyes, and his gaze towards us was filled with calculation. He said to Oliver, "I didn't expect you to be so wealthy now. $3 million is nothing for you, right? I won't make it difficult for you. Just $3 million will do. I understand this principle. Greedy people are never satisfied." Giving money to someone as greedy as Oliver's dad is like trying to take a meat bun from a dog's mouth. Not only will you not get it back, but you'll also get into trouble. Seeing that he couldn't provide any useful information, we simply kicked him out. Oliver's dad kept grumbling, saying we would definitely regret it in the future. But I know for sure that Oliver will never regret anything he does. I've always trusted him. Oliver took me to that place, where he first met me in the form of a little gray fox. He walked towards a rather inconspicuous little mound in the flower bushes. Holding his award for Best Actor, Oliver squatted down in front of me and slowly began to dig a hole with his paws. Being a Best Actor was Oliver's dream, and now I helped him realize it. Nian Nian, am I not doing well enough? It was only now that I learned his parents were still alive. It turns out that, like me, his parents didn't love him much. Nian Nian, I'm feeling a bit hopeless. Tonight, Oliver seems to have remembered the past. Just like when we first got together, he has become particularly sensitive and vulnerable. He worries that I will deceive him, fears that I will abandon him, and feels he is not good enough. But I have always told him that someone who truly loves you won't stop loving you because you aren't perfect, and they certainly won't leave you easily. I watched him silently place the trophy in front of the grave of his benefactor, as if resolving a long-held concern. In the human world, the demon race cannot use magic. This title of Best Actor is something Oliver earned after countless nights studying scripts and desperately seeking opportunities. When he was utterly exhausted, he often fell asleep in my arms with the script in hand. This Best Actor title was genuinely earned by Oliver through his talent. I know that he doesn't care about this empty title now, but I understand that there are some things I can forego, but I can never let anyone take them away. I heard my voice drifting away with the wind. Oliver, I will always be with you. Even if I leave this world, I won't let others take advantage of you. Oliver's eyes were fixed on me like a beast ready to hunt, his face filled with desire, as if he wanted to devour me whole. Ironically, foxes do eat rabbits. Back then, to gain acceptance from my tribe, that little gray fox endured a lot of suffering. Oliver and I lived together in the cabin for a while. Every corner here holds the shadow of his past life. The little gray fox from before didn't like to talk about his past. He doesn't like to show vulnerability in front of others, even to me. He often says, "Let go of the past." But some things, you just can't let go of. They're like scabbed wounds that don't hurt but still itch subtly. I've seen too many facets of humanity. I despise those who bully others and then feign tears of remorse. They say they were too young and naive back then, hurting others, and now they regret it too late. They express deep regret and hope to be forgiven by those they bullied. Many in the comments say that realizing one's mistakes and correcting them is commendable. Yes, seeing how remorseful you are, they should be able to forgive you. Don't be too hard on yourself. Let the past be the past. But why should these kind people forgive the bullies on behalf of those who were bullied? Those experiences that still haunt you will follow the bullied person for a lifetime. It leaves an indelible shadow in one's heart for a lifetime. Not every "I am sorry" can be met with "it's okay." If you don't want to forgive, then don't. The earth won't stop spinning just because of one less "it's okay." During this time, Oliver and I have ignored the gossip online. Right here in this quiet little cabin, watching the clouds come and go. The online world is vast, and there are many who follow the trend. Because of Oliver's father's involvement, things escalated even more. In a short period, this matter has reversed several times. Netizens say they can't understand it. There are also many acquaintances in my comment section messaging me to hurry up and update. They are particularly eager to know what the situation is this time. I didn't take it seriously at all. The higher you climb, the harder you fall. This is a truth that Oliver and I have come to understand in the human world. I don't know how Samantha contacted Oliver's father, but I know that those who lend money to gamblers won't stop until they are drained dry. Now a month has passed, and the gambler should have spent that $1 million by now. During this time, Samantha must have been having a terrible time, and I'm secretly pleased. Sure enough, Oliver's dad came to find Samantha again. You should leave quickly. Didn't I already give you $1 million? What more do you want? Samantha is already 8 months pregnant. She can't afford any more accidents. Oliver's dad knows Samantha's weaknesses very well. The two are in a contest to see who can endure more. It's obvious that Samantha is no match for Oliver's dad. Oliver's dad had a flattering smile, but his eyes kept glancing at Samantha's noticeably rounded belly. He said, "Samantha, I don't mean to make things difficult for you. Just give me 100,000. I promise I won't bother you anymore. Once I make enough money to turn things around, I will definitely pay you back." After saying that, he still smiled, but his gaze swept meaningfully over Samantha's pregnant belly. Samantha certainly understood Oliver's dad's threat. This person is truly outrageous. Even though she is carrying his son's child, he feels no pressure or guilt at all. Samantha held back her anger and transferred 100,000 to Oliver's dad right in front of him. "Get away from me." After receiving the money, Oliver's dad ignored what Samantha said and felt completely relaxed. He walked away in a grand manner. The daughter-in-law is really magnanimous. Don't worry, this will definitely be the last time I trouble you. You can't trust what a gambler says. I understand this principle, and so does Samantha. She can't delay any longer. Oliver must take responsibility for her pregnancy. Many people think that the weaker party is the kind one. She stared at the private messages sent by the girls comforting her on her phone. It was as if she saw hope. She smiled again and walked into the room. Oliver's mother also got in touch with Oliver. Strangely, when Oliver wasn't famous, his body hung in the cabin for 3 days without anyone noticing. It was only after the little gray fox returned that he collected the body for burial. After Oliver became famous, even distant relatives came knocking on his door. His biological parents are the same. Oliver's household registration book only has his name written alone. He is the head of the household, and only he is listed. "Oliver, Mom misses you. Can you come back and see me? It's been a long time since I saw you. Your dad has hit me again." Oliver's mother's voice was pleading, and I could faintly hear her holding back tears. Oliver's heart softened. I could tell. The little gray fox was quite pitiful. Because of his fur color, his parents and siblings had always treated him poorly. I think he should also be secretly grateful that at least the old Oliver had a mother who cared for him. "Oliver, it's okay. If you want to see her, just go. Consider it a way to thank your former self. Maybe your mother misses you too." Oliver took me to the place where he used to live. It was a very old neighborhood. Most of the neighbors had moved away. Only about 10 households still lived here. We were just like an ordinary family. A son brings his beloved girlfriend home to meet us. Oliver's mother had a kind smile on her face, and the wrinkles at the corners of her eyes showed warmth. She reached out her hands, marked by the passage of time, gently touched my face, and said, "You must be Nyan Nyan? Oliver often mentions you. You're really a beautiful girl." I was also quite happy, feeling that this lady was very friendly. It's all our fault for being too busy with work. Otherwise, I should have urged Oliver to see his mom earlier. Oliver doesn't handle these situations well. As soon as he walked in, he took over his mom's chores and got busy in the kitchen. Seeing that Oliver's mom still wanted to help, I quickly stopped her. "Mom, let Oliver and me handle these chores. You should go rest." Oliver's mom smiled and sat down on the sofa. I walked into the kitchen and helped Oliver wash the vegetables as usual. Through the glass door of the kitchen, I watched Oliver's mom, who looked so warm and friendly, and quietly said to Oliver, who was cooking, "Oliver's mom is really nice. maybe I'm overthinking it. When I first arrived, I was worried that Oliver's mom had other motives, especially with Oliver's dad's example, so I had to be cautious. Oliver didn't say anything, he just bent down and gently touched my lips. He seemed quite happy at that moment. I blushed and pushed him away, noticing that Oliver's mom hadn't seen his action, and let out a soft hum. I lowered my voice to warn Oliver that if he kissed me randomly again in public, he could forget about touching my ears. Seeing me like this, Oliver smiled even more happily. All right, seeing him so happy today, I won't argue with him. After dinner, Oliver's mom insisted that we stay over. Seeing her so enthusiastic, Oliver and I agreed. But I never expected that I was underestimating human nature. Oliver's mom put drugs in the milk she gave us. I could hear Oliver's parents talking outside the door. Even though it was quiet, I heard it clearly. This situation is really chilling. Did they drink the milk? Yes, I saw them drink it with my own eyes. You're finally being useful. The spare key is in the living room, it can open the locked door. Oliver's dad's shrewd tone mixed with Oliver's mom's quiet response sounded particularly jarring in the quiet night. In the dark, I held Oliver's hand, trying to warm his cold fingers with my body heat. He's in a terrible state now, calm on the surface, but his eyes are filled with coldness, like the calm before a storm. Suddenly, the sound of a key turning in the lock came, followed by the lights turning on in the room. I turned on the light, and it was blinding. With that, Oliver's parents and we exchanged glances under the bright lights. As soon as Oliver's dad saw the scene, he immediately understood what had happened. He completely ignored us, as if it were nothing unusual, and turned to kick Oliver's mom hard. You useless woman! Oliver's mom was knocked down by his kick, crying out in pain, but still struggled to get up, trying to grab Oliver's dad as he walked away, muttering softly. No, I saw them drink it with my own eyes. The current Oliver's mom was completely different from the kind woman during the day. It was like she had become a different person. Oliver and I stared at her in a sorry state on the floor, trying to find a hint of guilt on her face. Unfortunately, there was none, not at all. Her face was filled with regret, regretting that she had messed things up. Is this how you repay your son who loves you? Oliver quietly asked beside me. I knew he was asking this question on behalf of the past Oliver. Oliver's mom seemed to have heard something funny and couldn't stop laughing. Love me? You don't love me at all. If it weren't for your disobedience, how would our family have ended up like this? You think being the best actor is something impressive? Huh? If you were willing to give your dad some money, he wouldn't have stayed away from home for all these years. Then I wouldn't have been beaten up like this. Hearing those outrageous words from Oliver's mom, I was so shocked that I couldn't speak. Auntie, that's domestic violence. You can report it to the police and get a divorce. Oliver's mom seemed to latch onto a certain word and became even more agitated. Divorce? I won't divorce. People will laugh at me if I do. How can you be so unreasonable? Child, what's wrong with cooperating with my husband to take a few photos tonight? And you ungrateful child, what's wrong with giving your dad some money? You've given all your earnings to this person next to you, right? I didn't want to hear her unreasonable accusations anymore, so I grabbed Oliver and walked out. I covered Oliver's ears to shield him from those hurtful words, just like he used to protect me. Behind me was Oliver's mom's relentless complaining, and beside me was my little gray fox. Me, it seems that you're all I have left. At this moment, Oliver seemed to be tearing open the deepest wounds in his heart. He looked at me for a long time. I don't like him like this. He clearly deserves to be liked by more people. Understood, little gray princess. The Night Mimi is always at your service. It turns out I'm not only good at joining the fun, but I also have some skills. Looking at the sparkle in Oliver's eyes, I felt quite pleased inside. For example, cheering up the little gray fox. Samantha, 8 months pregnant, was preparing to go live for a non-invasive prenatal paternity test. She originally didn't want to deal with this, but Oliver changed his mind and said he was willing to cooperate. Seeing my puzzled expression, Oliver explained that he wanted to teach everyone a lesson before he left. After hearing his thoughts, I responded, "Little gray princess, let the Night Mimi help you out." With a playful smile, Oliver pinched my ear. I could feel his warm breath gently brushing against me. Now there's something else that needs the Night Mimi's help. I wonder if the Night Mimi will agree? I looked at the expectation in his eyes and felt something was off, so I immediately wanted to dodge. That's when I remembered he was a real fox spirit, capable of enchanting people and good-looking too. I took a deep breath, supported my aching arms and legs to get up, and logged into my gossip account. This time, I will keep updating on Oliver's situation. Below are fans urging me to update quickly. I took a quick look and entered Samantha's live stream. She is very sure that the child in her belly is Oliver's. To make it more convincing, she specifically went to several reputable hospitals to do a non-invasive paternity test. In front of the camera, she smiled confidently. The test results came out urgently today. These are paternity test reports from 3 different authoritative hospitals. I believe everyone and the hospitals will give me a fair outcome. Samantha showed us the certification letter, and the seal hadn't even been broken. She said she did this to prevent anyone from suspecting she tampered with it. Netizens are continuously flooding the comments section with messages. This woman is so certain. Could it really be Oliver's child? It's really possible. As I said, this circle is too complicated. Even if it's biological, it could be resolved privately. With things escalating like this, Oliver's career will definitely be affected. Samantha only thinks of herself and doesn't consider others at all. So what if her career is gone? At this point, she has enough money to last a lifetime. Samantha saw the comments worrying about her career and thought to herself that these people are really overthinking. Unfortunately, Samantha showed the paternity test results to the viewers without looking at them first, but the effect was not what she expected. Samantha immediately pretended to cry, saying how wrong she was, until she saw all the comments in the live stream criticizing her. Only then did she realize something was wrong. She hurriedly flipped through the 3 paternity test reports. No, it's all wrong. This is impossible. This child is clearly Oliver's. There's no doubt about it. They must have done something. Seeing Samantha on the verge of breaking down in the live stream, I kindly posted a comment. Don't get too worked up. It's not good for your health. I exited directly. I didn't want to watch others in such an embarrassing situation. Fortunately, Samantha is very cautious. She's afraid we might do something underhanded, so she's been keeping a close eye on everything. As long as there are places allowed for live streaming, she records everything in real time. Now she can't frame us anymore. I publicly stated on my account that I am Oliver's girlfriend and also his fiancée. At the same time, I released all the events that occurred during this time, along with the truth Oliver had uncovered earlier. Oliver was born into a seemingly ordinary but troubled family. His father was addicted to alcohol and gambling and often resorted to violence. His mother held conservative views and directed all her resentment towards Oliver. Oliver accidentally entered the entertainment industry, but his career did not go smoothly. He was also set up by someone and ended up with a hefty penalty for breach of contract. Previously, because their son could earn money, Oliver's father softened his attitude towards him. Now, as soon as he hears his son is in debt, he immediately turns against him, fearing he would be implicated, and simply cut off their father-son relationship. Since then, Oliver's household registration was transferred out, leaving only him in the household book. Samantha was attracted to Oliver's appearance and took the opportunity to take away the seemingly aloof him. But she spends all day hanging out in various entertainment venues, and she's done things like this many times before. Who knows what's real and what's not? I didn't mention the latter part in the video, so no one understands. At that time, Oliver was ill, and he began to doubt himself, not understanding what he did wrong. He knew he was sick and had tried hard to get better. But in the end, he still failed, and he passed away alone in a small cabin in the mountains. It was at this time that Oliver made all the evidence public. The management company was investigated due to contract entrapment. Samantha was taken in for questioning for spreading rumors and extortion. Olive's father was also taken away for fighting and domestic violence. As the video was about to end, I wanted to tell everyone to think critically about online information, maintain a skeptical attitude, and not unintentionally hurt others. I don't know how long what Oliver and I shared will be remembered, but even if it's only remembered for a little while, it's worth it. Oliver has announced his retirement from this circle. He told me that his past dreams as Oliver have been fulfilled, and now he wants to pursue his own dreams. On the last day before we leave this world, we met the doctor who used to treat Oliver. He saw that Oliver is now living a better life, and the wrinkles on his face show his happiness. Admitting that your parents don't love you and that they are selfish is the first step to stepping out of the shadows. If you can overcome this hurdle, I am truly happy for you. Oliver just smiled. We all chose not to speak the truth. The old Oliver still doubted himself until the end. He thought no one loved him because he was not good enough. I hope he finally understands now. Leaves are falling one by one. autumn has come again. Oliver is very nervous because today I am going to give birth. I asked him again, what kind of baby would a fox and a rabbit have? He couldn't answer me, just repeatedly saying that phrase. No matter what the child is like, we will love him. Even if Oliver doesn't speak, I understand what he is thinking. He doesn't want the child to be like him. The Knight of Dreams can always guess the little gray princess's thoughts. Days later, I gave birth to a little gray fox, just like Oliver was when he was a child. I held him and said to Oliver, "It's a little gray fox. The genes of the little gray fox are really strong." But Oliver was strangely silent this time. I looked at Oliver. He was staring at the little gray fox, watching it over and over again. After a while, I heard him softly whisper in my ear with a hoarse voice, "Mian Mian, let's take good care of him." I knew he was thinking about his childhood again. I immediately agreed. "Oliver, do you know? I'm very happy that I gave birth to a little gray fox. I want to tell you that those who truly love you will always love you, no matter how you change. Do you remember what that doctor said? Sometimes we have to face reality and admit that some parents indeed love themselves more than they love their children. Right now, the most important thing for us is to love ourselves well. Don't always doubt yourself or deny yourself." I looked at Oliver seriously and asked him, "Will you like the little gray fox I gave birth to?" "Yes." Oliver's eyes sparkled again. This was the first time he believed he was worthy of love. I understood.